Welcome to the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast with Dat Boy Mo 629. Discussing everything fitness and everything motivation. Here is where you will get your fitness education and motivational fix. Now, here's your host, Dat Boy Mo 629.
What's good, everybody? It's Dat Boy Mo 629 coming to y'all with another edition of the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast. This time we about to talk about New Year's resolutions. The title of this podcast is called New Year's Neverlutions. But we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions, right? Happy New Year, the end of 2024 and going into the year 2025. New Year's resolution. The vast majority of people, I think they said around 67% of people make New Year's resolutions, which is the majority of people who make New Year's resolutions. And the reason I call this New Year's Neverlutions is because, right, a lot of these resolutions that people make fail. Now, I'm not a big proponent of New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to tell you why. Because New Year's resolutions to me is a goal that a lot of people make, that a lot of people end up, they make it in the wrong space, the wrong frame of mind, right? Because it's a new year, so to speak, right? So you go from one year to the next, and whatever happened in the previous year, you're like, you know what? I'm going to change this and I'm going to change that. So this is going to be my New Year's resolution, right? You look in the gym, there's a lot of people that want to lose weight. Like you look at Google Trends and stuff like that right now, I'm pretty sure Google Trends will tell you that a lot of people are looking at losing weight in the year 2025. And this happens every year. There's a spike at the end of December and the beginning of January, and it lowers, right? And for the rest of the year, as far as like New Year resolution, weight loss, gyms, and stuff like that. So, and even in the gym, there's a running joke. Now, I'm going to get to a lot of things here, but there's a running joke in the gym where the regulars in the gym like, man, I got to beat the New Year's resolution crowd, and you got the New Year's weight loss crowd and all that stuff coming in, and I got to beat that crowd and yada, 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 yada. So that crowd typically dies down from January to February to March to April. That crowd is no longer in there because a lot of times what happens is, how do I want to put this without sounding like an asshole? But what I want to say is that your New Year's resolution is going to fail. And I'm going to explain why it's going to fail. It's because when you have New Year's resolutions, that is a hope, that is a dream, that is not in your normal life. That is not in your normal routine. That is not who you are, right? So the New Year's crowd is, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to spend more time doing this, I'm going to do that, yada, 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 yada. But you go into your normal habit. It's not your normal habit. And you try to take on so much when you try to do your resolutions that is out of habit. You end up teetering off and falling off. It doesn't become a habit anymore. It doesn't become routine. It doesn't even make it to that. So you fall off, right? So I was in the gym today, and I've seen these two girls who I've never seen before in the gym at all on Sunday or whatever. And they worked out. They did it. They were sweating. They had a good workout. And a lot of times, you can either be a gym newbie and you're in there for the right reasons, but over time, when you don't see the results that you want quickly, you tend to quit, right? So what happens is, and I'm going to look this up real quick. I got it on my screen right here. As far as like New Year's resolutions, right? According to some studies, only 9% of people who make New Year's resolutions are successful in keeping them. So let's just say you got 20 million people that make New Year's resolution. 91% of those people will fail, right? They will fail. 9% will actually keep them. So are you a part of that 9% or are you not a part of that 9%? You see what I'm saying? So, and what can happen? And I always talk about this, and until it resonates in your head, you have to understand that if you're going to make these so-called resolutions, I wouldn't even make a resolution, to be perfectly honest with you. I just set goals, right? Don't even matter what time of year it is. It can be January, it can be February, it can be March, it can be April, whatever, right? You can make a goal that you want, like 2025 goals or whatever. This is what I want to do or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you can kind of like hit each one of those goals. And a lot of times those goals don't even hit because you teeter off, life happens, certain things happen, job loss, death, breakup in relationships, a lot of things happen in life to where you kind of like fall off. That's why I always say smart goals. I will always be smart about your goals. I always say be smart about your goals, because at the end of the day, you want specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals. That's what SMART stands for. You want a specific goal that's not out of reach. You want a measurable goal, right? So how do you measure this goal? You want an attainable goal, so it's attainable. And then you want realistic. It got to be realistic, because if you sit here and try to say, oh man, I want to lose 50 pounds in 2025, but you sit here thinking that in the month of January that you're going to lose a lot of that 50, is not going to happen. And you may lose between 5 to 7, maybe even 10 pounds in the first month. And then you got to go through February, 5 to 10 pounds maybe in that month. And then you got to go through March. You got to understand that your goal, your short-term goals and long-term goals determine your success rate. And that's what people don't try to understand. They get frustrated because they don't have it now. That's why Ozempic is popular, because it's a quick weight loss goal. I'm like, man, I'm not going to do all this, man. I'm just going to pay this $1,800. You know what I'm saying? Lose this weight quick. But then once you get off Ozempic, what happens? That weight comes right back, because you don't have a habit to keep it off. You see what I'm saying? And then a lot of times, if you lose that weight fast, it's a lot of flabby skin, no muscle developed, you know what I'm saying? No eating habit developed, none of that. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you didn't develop a habit. You didn't develop a new routine to maintain what you accomplished. And that goes for anything you do in life. It goes into weight loss. It goes into to bettering yourself and learning new things. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why I call it Nevolutions, New Year's Nevolution, because as we approach 2025 and we leave 2024 in the dust, there's a lot of things that happen in 2024 where you just like, damn, 2025. Me, I'm kind of nervous about 2025 for real, on some real stuff. But you know what I'm saying? I got like, I try to attain and try to do stuff new. Like if you see, like with this podcast, at least with this video, you see I got new lighting. Right, I've always had the setup. I'm just trying new lighting to see how it looks. Right, I got the light here, bow, and I got the green light there, bow, and I got the background here, bow, and I got the mic here, bow. You know what I'm saying? I try new things to see what actually clicks and what don't click. So, you always got to try new things. You always got to change. You got to adapt. You got to evolve, especially in the day and age of artificial intelligence. AI, ChatGPT, and all these avatar stuff, you know what I'm saying? You gotta adapt with that. Hell, I got some stuff with the avatar as well. I got a reel out there, a couple of reels out there that I'm putting out there that got me as an avatar. You probably didn't even know that, but it got me as an avatar to try to speed up the process to see how it is and how it can be. And you gotta adapt. You gotta find out what works. Like if you stuck in the same method, the old archaic method, and time is a big thing, right? At the end of the day, as adults, time, if you work and you're trying to inflation, at the end of the day, inflation is kicking our butt. So you got a budget, or you got to have 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. I know people that work a full-time job, they DoorDash, they Instacart, and they Uber to make ends meet. So if you're doing all of that, what does that mean? You don't have enough time to go to the gym. You don't have enough time to prepare these meals. You get a quick meal or whatever that's unhealthy for you, that's processed as hell, and you can't really work out the way you want to. You can't eat healthy the way you want to. You can't meal prep the way you want to, especially if you got kids too. You got to attend to those kids. Their kids got stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? You got to attend to your children. Like, so at the end of the day, these life things, call them barriers, that affect your resolutions. So you have to create a plan. And that plan is to build a habit around what your barriers are now. If you do that, then that will help you succeed into your resolution and become a part of that 9% of successful resolution creators, or people who make New Year's resolutions, however you want to call it, and become a success. And then the next year, you'll be like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is my goal for next year. I make monthly goals. You see what I'm saying? How I do it monthly. I don't do yearly goals. I do monthly because those are attainable. Those are, to me, timely, and they're realistic goals, right? As far as like my podcast downloads, okay, I want to have this many podcast downloads per month. So in November, I wanted 70. Wait. In October, I had 66. So in November, I had to look at my whiteboard right there. So in October, I had 66. November, I had 70. So I had 70. Now December, I know December is a little flaky because of the holidays, Christmas. I don't think people are really listening to the podcast like that. So in my December goals, I'm gonna look this up real quick and see exactly where I'm at in December. I didn't really make a goal for December. I'm gonna look at my stats. See, my podcast ain't even popping like that yet. But in a year, my goals are going to be higher. So let's look at actually let me do custom thus far. Let me do custom December 1st right now, December 29th. So let me upload the stat. Right now I'm at 72 downloads for the month of December. So that's more than November. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to go up more per month. You see what I'm saying? So I think I wanted to hit around 75 in December. So I may hit that. I may hit it. I may not hit it. I don't know. So I got 2 more days to hit 3 more downloads in the month of December. So we'll see, hit 75. And that's a flaky month. So January, I want to hit between probably 80 or 90 downloads. And then February, you see what I'm saying? I'm going up 10 more a month. So February, bam, 100. And then March, 110, 120, so forth. So it'll build up more. You see what I'm saying? I can actually hit that if I do more than one podcast a week. You see what I'm saying? So if I do more than one podcast a week, it'll go up. So right now I'm doing one podcast a week. I'm thinking of doing more than one podcast a week instead of every Monday, maybe do Monday and Wednesday. So I got to look at that. The more podcasts I drop, the more, downloads I have. So at the end of the day, that's kind of what that is. So I have to look at that. So, and that's just an example though, like even with weight loss and the weight, the weight gain and stuff like that, and getting stronger and all that stuff. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? You have to have a specific goal, right? What exactly do you want? What do you want to do? You have that specific goal, and then you base everything else around that goal. You got to make it timely. Even if you like, man, I want to lose 100 pounds. Okay. So what are the measures you're going to take to hit that goal? How can you make it attainable? How can you make it realistic? How can you make it timely? You see what I'm saying? So there's there are factors that go into your New Year's resolution in order to make it complete, make it work. Right? I had a client, and the client had all these aspirations. I want to lose weight. I eat like crap. I got to make this work. Okay. So if you're not putting in any work, you can't make it work. I can only do so much as a trainer, and you have to do the work as a client. I can coach you. I can motivate you. I can hit you with affirmation. I can give you all the knowledge in the world. But if you're not going to get up and do that work, you're not going to hit any of those goals. You see what I'm saying? You have to want this more than your trainer. You have to want this more than your coach. Your coach is there, right, to teach you and give you the tools to succeed. But if you don't put forth that effort, then how can you succeed? You can't blame nobody else but yourself. Those resolutions ain't hit. That's on you. Like myself, right? I had a goal for this year as far as my business. I didn't hit that goal. Do I blame anybody else? No. No. I blame myself. Because what did I not do to achieve those goals? What didn't I put into place? Where do I have to put myself in the right position to achieve those goals? You see what I'm saying? You have to find what works. You have to find what clicks. And you have to find the way, right? In order the Instagram algorithm, okay. How do you work your way around that algorithm? How do you get into the algorithm? How do you figure out that algorithm? Well, there's the Facebook algorithm. Okay. There's a YouTube algorithm. Okay. So if you know there's an algorithm, how do you manipulate it? How do you make it work in your favor? That's what you got to do. You want to sell stuff? How do you put yourself out there to sell something that people want? Is there a problem out there that people need solved? Yes. So how do you solve it? You see what I'm saying? So there's ways to achieve your goal. There's ways to win. You just have to figure out those ways to win. And you can take that into 2025, and I don't care if it's May 3rd, and you're like, you know what? I want to do this. Boom. So you have to put together those SMART goals. Now, always say SMART goals, because at the end of the day, you can't just say that, oh, well, you don't know. This has happened before to other people. They put in SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals to reach their goal. So at the end of the day, whether you make resolutions or not, right, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to figure out the way to put in the work and make it work in order for your resolutions to be kept. So that's my message at the end of 2024, going into 2025. I've got a feeling this is going to be a hell of a year. 2025, everybody be like, Happy New Year. I'll be like, oh, man. I hope it's a Happy New Year. I hope it is. But at the end of the day, I guess that's what happens when you get older. You know what I'm saying? You ain't as naive or whatever when you're younger or whatever. You just think everything all sunshine and rainbows and everything. And then you get hit with life. And then life happens. You know what I'm saying? So, you know my story. If you listen to my podcast, you know my story. You know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of losses from 2021 up until now. So it's just kind of like, okay, but I still persevere. I still, you know what I'm saying? I still hit with the podcast. You see what I'm saying? Even though I was gone for 3 years, I'm kind of like restarting in 2024, but I started again, right? Started on and finish it. And that's just my advice to y'all, too. So until next time, you know what it is. Start it, own it, finish it.
You've been listening to the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast. Be sure to subscribe to receive new episodes. Link up with Dat Boy Mo 629 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, or visit him at ace1warrior.com. Until next time, start it, own it, finish it.